Hey guys, I'm Mo back again. Welcome to day 37 in life of the Galaxy S23. Today I'm going to talk about screen on time because people are always wondering how much screen on time do I get on this phone or any phones in particular. But before jumping into that, I want to start off by explaining what screen on time actually is. And it is literally the amount of time that you spent on your screen. Every time you unlock your phone, you use particular apps and your screen is on, that counts as screen on time. So if you're listening to a podcast, it is technically eating your battery in the background, but it doesn't count towards your screen on time. So screen on time is a funky little stat, and it all depends on how you're using your phone. Because in most of the torturous tests that you see, people have YouTube playing or just heavy gaming for 8 hours straight. But that's not realistic in terms of how people use their phone on a day-to-day basis. So just something to be mindful of there. For me in general, I've been getting about 3.5 hours average of screen on time on this phone. And the reason for that is I spend most of my day working from 9 to 5. I do work from home, so I have a desk job. The phone is off for the most part. Every now and then I do turn on music or podcasts in the background just to switch it up. But I do not have YouTube playing 8 hours straight. So in theory, I will never really achieve that 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. And even to achieve that, I think you need to do some tinkering with the settings, reduce your brightness and things like that. I typically just use my phone the way it is right out of the box. So very limited tinkering. I like my screen at default brightness or near max brightness, so it just automatically adjusts. I don't want to compromise too much with dimming the screen or anything like that. And just in general, in days where I have super long overall battery life, that takes into consideration idle time and how I just go about my day, the time I start my phone to the time when it's completely drained. Those days where I get over a day of battery life, it results in lower screen on time due to the fact that I'm just not really using my phone that much. If you're not really touching your phone, then the screen on time is going to be low. But there are days where I do a lot of gaming on my phone. Then in that case, I have gotten anywhere from 5.5 hours of screen on time. And that's just me heavy gaming, constantly on the phone all day long. On those days, I will have longer screen on time. But as a result of having the screen on much longer, your total battery actually go down significantly. So for example, on day 23 right here, 5.5 hours of screen on time, but only 9.5 hours of total battery life. So it all depends how you use your phone. But just in general, if you are a heavy gamer, you can get over 5 hours of screen on time continuously. But you are a somewhat light user like me who don't do a lot of gaming, just dabble here and there. On average, you're gonna get at least 12 hours of screen on time. So if you start work at 9 o'clock, on the dot and your phone's at 100%, you get off at 5, 8 hours later, you're still gonna have 4 more hours of battery life after that, so it'll last you to 9 p.m. So that's just a rough estimate there, depending on when you start your day, when you charge your phone to 100% and everything like that. But that's just my little background on screen on time. I don't worry too much about it. For me, I personally care more about the overall battery life. In the past with the Galaxy S22 and the S21, even if I don't do anything with my phone and just leave it on my desk, it just dies super quick, doing God knows what in the background, always on display or something. But with the S22, I think I average about 9 hours a day. By 2 to 3 p.m., usually my phone is pretty dead before I even make it through work. But with the S23 and the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, you are seeing a significant increase there just in terms of performance and overall battery life when the phone is idled. Okay, I hope you guys understand a little bit more about screen on time, and now I'm going to jump into day 37. Woke up at 5:57 a.m., phone is at 32%, did not charge my phone the night before. Looking at my sports betting result, freaking Jason Tatum couldn't score me 25 points, so I ended up losing this bet. Super annoyed. 6:11 a.m., I decided to check my battery life over the last day. So we got close to 14 hours of total battery life. And another instance of low screen on time, 2.5 hours. And that's just because work's been super busy for me. I haven't been on my phone a lot, so the screen is not on a lot. But overall, the total battery life is still pretty decent. Began my morning by doing some workout, currently using the JFit app. It's been a while since I'm able to move and get some exercise in, but now I gotta get back into the groove. Here's a picture shot on the Galaxy S23. Looks pretty solid if you keep a good distance from it. No blurriness issue here. At 9 a.m. I begin work, put my phone on my wireless charger. It is slowly crawling its way above 30%. For lunch, got some chicken wing. Maybe I just gotta stop taking these photos up so close. I think I skimmed through one of the Reddit threads where Samsung recommended you try to take your picture a little bit further away. Got some chicken nuggets bite. Top left is a little blurry. Read an article about how the S10 support is finally ending. It was Samsung's 2019 flagship, and back in the day, Samsung only support their phone for up to 4 years. Nowadays, they support it up to 5. So, if you do buy one of these Samsung phones, you should be fine for the long run. Apple, on the other hand, do support their phone for much longer though. My iPhone 6s is still getting supported to this day. God knows how old that phone is. So in general, a lot of people always ask me, do I need to upgrade to the S23 or the newest phone? In general, any phones over the last 4 or 5 years, you don't really need to upgrade. There's not that much of a change year to year, just a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient. But in theory, the only time you really need to upgrade is when the software is no longer supported, like the S10 right here. But you have any of the other phones that the software still support and it works fine, just stick with it and don't waste your money unless you really want to see the latest and greatest, but on a day-to-day basis, it's not going to change your life or anything like that. Took some pictures of strawberries. The top looked fine. The bottom is a bit out of focus. This photo looked a little bit better when I took a picture of it from further away. 5:46 p.m. Finally got off work. Checking the software update to see if we got anything for April. No April updates yet in the US for the T-Mobile carrier. I will keep waiting. Then I went for my little walk. After that, got in a car, drove to mom's house for dinner. Got some boom grill for dinner. The room is pretty dim, so the video quality doesn't look too great here. 7:48 p.m. Phone is back down to 78%. That's just how my day goes. Early in the morning, we got low battery. And throughout the day, as I'm sitting on a wireless charger, by the time I'm off work, I'm near 100%. And it's slowly coming back down. Read an article about how the S23 is depreciating much faster than the iPhone, which is not surprising. iPhones in general tend to hold their value really well. Galaxies and Android devices, like a month or two after you buy the phone, it drops pretty significantly. In this case, the S23 dropped like 40% or so. So if you buy them in a used market, you can get a pretty good deal if you don't mind. Used phone, even though it is used, it's still relatively new. It's only been a couple months, so I don't think it's the end of the world. But just something to keep in mind, if you do buy these phones, you're not going to get much resale value for it in the long run. They are still great phones, but they do depreciate really quickly. Here's the chart that I found on one of the websites that they have. It looks like they got all the S series listed, all the iPhone series from all the different storage model pixels on here as well. After 1 month, Samsung have a pretty big drop. Average drop of 41% for like new phones, and on the right we got good phones. iPhone depreciated by 32%. And after 2 months, Samsung is at 43. iPhone actually depreciate less after 2 months. That's kind of odd. First month is more than the second. But either way, you kind of get the idea. Pixel series, on the other hand, depreciate much quicker. 2 months after you own the phone, you already lose almost half the value. Just fun stats to look at if you are ever in the need of a new phone. You don't need to buy the newest. If you don't mind like new or good new phones, you can get significant savings here. Just looking across all the board, go on eBay, Amazon, or something like that. Maybe you'll find yourself a pretty good deal. Alright, in the evening we made our way to Target, did some late night shopping before coming back home. Went to bed at 11:03 p.m. Phone is at 27%. I have some music playing in the background as I'm sleeping. And when I woke up, my phone was completely dead. So woke up at 6 a.m. the next day, charge it up to 48% in about half an hour. Within the last day, we got 13 hours of battery life and 2.5 hours of screen on time. So going in full circles there. So that sounds about right. 13 hours of overall battery life since I'm working most of the day, not really using my screen, so we have 2.5 screen on time. Alright guys, this wraps up day 37 in the life of the Galaxy S23. Hope you find it somewhat helpful. Please check out my day 36 video if you haven't already. In that video, I went into some demonstration about the slow-mo camera feature versus the super slow-mo. And today my Galaxy A54 will be arriving, so I'm going to be testing that out soon. Look forward to doing that. I've always been a fan of these budget phones. The A54 is half the price of the S23. We'll see how it stacks and compare on a day-to-day basis. Most people like to talk about the Galaxy S series, but the A series is actually the most popular phones, and they sell more A series than S series. I actually hated the A53 last year. I'm curious to see if there are going to be any improvement this year just in terms of basic usability. When I was using A53, it was super laggy, super slow, and I hated it. Fingers crossed it will be a better experience this year, but I'll keep you guys updated. I'll bring both phones to Hawaii. We'll get some great videos, some great photos, do some comparisons with daily videos, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.